still evil. That's why I'm passing on that shit. I can't bring myself to vote for either of them. I can't do it, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, man.
That's hot
saying,
shit
man.
right there, man.
So what we gonna do? We gonna dub that?
Yeah, man, let's do it, dog. Let's get it
Your
done.
buttons and they get you emotionally charged. Meanwhile, they slide out the back door with the bag. Y'all give me stir fried or baked shit or horse shit or dog shit to choose from, then I'm gonna fast.
Donald Trump is a scab. Donald Trump is a billionaire, and that's who he represents. If Donald Trump ever worked in an auto plant, he wouldn't be a UAW member. He'd be a company man trying to squeeze the American worker. Donald Trump stands against everything we stand for as a union, as a society. When you go back to our core issues, wages, retirement, health care, and our time, that's what this election's about. This election's about who will stand up with us and who will stand in our way. Those are the questions that will win or lose this election and will decide our fate. Those are the questions that will determine the future of our country and the fate of the working class. Donald Trump.
Yeah, man. So, you know, the line that stands out from this is who will stand with us and who will stand in our way. I think if the people realize the power that they have, really, they would behave differently. But the media tells you that you don't matter, that you're stupid, that you don't have any power, and that's what leads us to the situations that we have with the most the least productive Congress in history, the candidates who are freaking not likable by majority of Americans. Like, it's when they say like the 1%, then that means that you got 99% of people, so we're ran by the 1%, but 99% of us don't agree with this stuff, and the stuff that they do doesn't work for us. But we're divided, and we're fighting against each other because our neighbor is a liberal, or our neighbor is a Republican, or our neighbor is gay, or our neighbor is black or white or Hispanic or whatever. They got us on these culture wars, fighting against each other, and that's the definition of divide and conquer. If we come together along the lines of our common interests, because we have way more in common with our neighbor, our gay Republican liberal Democrat neighbor, than we do with the 1% folks, and we all have the same problems. Many of us are living check to check. We're worried about our rent. We're worried about providing a good school for our kids. We're worried about putting food on the table. We're worried about inflation and price gouging and price fixing. We're worried about these major conglomerates, monopolies on everything, and no real competition. These are the concerns that we all have. So the only way we can make a change is if we come together and get past these little differences that the media makes us focus on, and focus on the things that we agree on and push forward on that shit. And then we have to fight. We have to, take some sacrifices and take some L's in certain areas so that we can get what's good for all of us, you know. We have to think about our children and our children's children. You know, do we want them to go through the same shit that we're going through right now? I mean, maybe we won't personally benefit from our labor today, but our children will, or our children's children will, you know. That's how we have to think. As long as the guys looking at this as an individual and just look out for yourself, your friends and your family, and get as much as you can get, and you know, they're going to continue to leave out the back door with the bag and leave us with the problems, with the issues. They're going to continue to kick the can down the road, and nothing for the American people, you know. So it's a working man's country, is the United States, is America, you know. So it should be ran by the working man. So if you're looking at it as majority rule, that is not the case here, because this is a working man's country, and the working man doesn't get what he needs. He gets screwed over. They close the company and move it overseas. They lay you off for no reason at all. You know, they pay you the bare minimum amount they can pay you and don't give you vacation time. They don't give you family leave. When you have a baby, you can't stay at home with your baby and watch his first steps or his first meal or his first bath. You know, they take our work-life balance away from us. While they get these things, they're at home with their child when their child is born. They have a work-life balance. They can spend time with their family. You know, it's us that don't get that. You know, and they tell us that we're supposed to care more about the company, than ourselves, or whatever. The company is what's most important. Meanwhile, they don't think that way. They will jump ship in a heartbeat and get a freaking golden parachute on their way out the door. Comments, it says, speaking to the union and to the world today, UAW President Shawn Fain said, Donald Trump is a scab, Donald Trump is a billionaire, and that is who he represents. So yeah, more unions. And then they tell you unions is communism. It's like, okay, so if I just get with my co-workers and we leverage our labor so that we can get better pay, better benefits, or whatever, they're going to say you're a communist, you're a Marxist. You shouldn't want those things. You know, you're supposed to be an individual. You're supposed to be freedom. You're supposed to be free. You're supposed to own all your own property. Okay, well, I don't own anything. I rent my place. You know, they could come take my car.
Dude, your broad sweeping dislikes are just as far off target as saying all unions are good and all corporations are bad. I mean,
I know, right? You
seriously,
scared
this
me.
is
I thought I was by myself. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You startled me though. I was like, I thought somebody was in the room with me. I'm like, who is this? I'm here by myself. Oh man. Yeah. So, anyways, I am on my soapbox right here. You know, I lost my train of thought, but it's like, us coming together is the answer. You know, the separation is what they want, and that's how they keep winning. So, that's basically the gist of what I'm trying to say here. Comment, it says, I agree with this, but Genocide Joe isn't the answer either. And I agree with you, Slowpokey Mandy. He's not the answer either. I agree with you. Another comment says, the working class needs to ditch the two corporate parties and start their own party, a labor party. Another comment, it says, disappointed that he threw in for Dems instead. There's a rare opportunity to create an independent pro-labor political movement here. I agree. It says, and Genocide Joe has only endorsed the unions when it was convenient to the billionaire scabs he represents. Yeah, freaking I want to say it was Biden who busted up the train, forced when they were trying to strike, when the train people were trying to strike, they forced them to come back to work. Yeah, so Biden isn't really pro-union. Nope, he is not.
An educated and united public cannot be controlled. Get organized.
Learn to be active.